Okay. Greetings, everyone. Port City Uncensored here. J Man Jack in the house. I got producer Scotty in the studio with me. And joining us is Shualo this evening. We may have someone else or another person or two jumping in later. But either way, hope everyone's doing well tonight. Everybody hear each other?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. I got a couple of things, interesting things to go over here, some videos to look at. And I want to start off kind of where we left off last week with the new City Hall. I actually went down there the other day, and, let me pull this up. And, I decided to take a look for myself. I'm happy to report that there is activity going on there. There are some guys working, and one of the fellows was nice enough to talk to me. I'm not going to dox him or anything or what he was doing there. But I did ask him about the building itself, and he said that if there was anything structurally wrong with it, that they wouldn't have him doing the work that he's doing there right now. And I asked him if there was any expectation of a completion date, and he didn't have a clue on that. And he said that's something you'd have to go through the city or city manager's office to find out. But there is work, and he said, yeah, we're doing the work because they are expecting to open for occupancy. And those were his words. Now, he did say, and this was an older fella and experienced doing this kind of stuff for a while, and he said with these kind of projects, and he said this could even be for a little single-family home, too. You try and set a deadline, but the problem is what he called the unforeseen elements that lie ahead. He mentioned COVID being one of them on this particular project. And all right, the unforeseen. Well, the unforeseens on this one, I believe, is up to $100 million that we've spent so far. And now he did tell me one interesting thing, though. There is one thing he said that is plaguing this project right now. Imagine what that might be. This is Stockton, right? Break-ins, crime. Wow, what a surprise. Yeah, they've had a number, he said, a number of break-ins, all right? And the police, the camera, that solar-powered camera on the pole that you see in parking lots and stuff, they got one of those there. And you know, it was around noontime when I was there, and there was a regular security guard that was showing up there. Okay, hold on, we got somebody else jumping on here. Bill Smith, welcome.
Hey guys.
Okay, all right. I was just telling these guys. I just ran the video. I went down to the new City Hall, take a look for myself. And there was a gentleman there that spoke to me. He was one of the guys working on the inside system there. He said there was really nothing as far as structural issues. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing the work that he's doing. And he said they are expecting to open for occupancy. Of course, he had no clue as far as the completion date. That's something I'm going to have to go through the soul-wrenching task of contacting City Hall about. But he did mention that the project is plagued by one thing, and that is break-ins. They've had a good number of break-ins on that site. So at the meeting the other night, just in passing, an amount I believe is $100 million mentioned that is spent on this so far, and so now we're spending a lot of money on this thing, and where's the security for it? I mean, it's literally being held back now because of the crime. Is this another reflection of how well the crime situation is being handled in here? I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I got something to add.
Gotti.
So, what's this called? Have you guys ever heard of the insurance scam where someone has a car, right, and then this car somehow magically gets destroyed? Like, I don't know, Superman threw it into a cliff or some shit.
Yeah.
Now the car's totaled. Then they get paid out for whatever the car is. Or was it insurance fraud when they light their own business on fire? So I guess the idea I'm getting at is that it's intentionally creating a problem that only you have the solution to. So I mean, I don't know. It just seems that they don't know when the date is, but they're gonna keep working on it. So
Yeah.
my dad's he's an iron worker, right? So he's worked on buildings before. They always know when the end date is. You wanna know why? Because it's called the contract. So either this building's up when this date is established on this paper here by this company, whoever's supplying the steel and whatnot, or it's like, hey, it's like a year later, this building's not put up. Someone's gonna be causing issues. So I guess the point I'm alluding to is that I feel like a lot of these construction jobs are mainly just so someone can like build shit and get money, but other than that, it doesn't have any use to the public. So my case in point being is that RTD bus station that's at the ass end of town by the San Rancho Miguel store. I don't know if you guys know where it is.
Yeah.
The other bus station. So the one downtown's useful. You want to know why? Because everyone goes downtown.
Yeah.
I don't think as any time I've passed by the other bus station, I've ever seen anyone using it. It's a ghost town. So it's like how much tax dollars went into that, and like what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? It's like so we build this. We assume it's going to be useful to the public. Otherwise, why did we sink millions of dollars into it if no one's going to be using it? Like, how is this beneficial towards the city? Or it's just another building that people can, build and have money go into pockets. So it's like, hey, we're going to pay you to go build this, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just so it's like, hey, but I'm going to loan you this building contract. But other than that, that's just it's more like a building for someone else than for the public. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I'm just a young guy. What do I know?
No, I see what you're getting at there. Bill, I know, having worked for the county for a while, you're familiar with contracts and projects and all that kind of stuff. What's your take on this? Hello? Bill?
Well, part of the problems that we have with a lot of these projects. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you on this end.
How about now?
Now you're in.
All right. The problem is the people that are in charge of these capital projects divisions of the city and the have never ever big construction projects. So they just take what the contractor tells them as the gospel, and if the contractor's running behind, they'll give them some story as to why they're running behind, and they'll just take it as gospel and instead of holding them to a deadline and making sure that they get it done on time. They'll say, "Oh, well, they had problems," or like we talked about last week, "Oh, the building's sinking." So it's at least I know in the county lack of experience in the capital projects department is what costs these overruns on these buildings. It's like if you had somebody that worked 20 years or 30 years in the construction trade running your projects, then you have somebody that's getting something done on, but you don't. You have somebody that came out of Delta College with an AA and civil engineering, and they're not the first about running a project. That's
Right.
no experience.
All right. So we could use some people with a little more experience in those areas.
We're trying to put together. I'm trying to get the county to put together an oversight committee
Right.
for construction projects. So whether they do it or not, I don't know.
The A team.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Shua? As far as we need people with more experience.
I think Bill hit it right on the spot, right? Because a lot of times what happens is a lot of these contractors, they're bid from, out of the city, right?
Uh
So
huh.
they're just coming in with the lowest bid, and the city just pretty much giving to them. So so a lot of times you're getting unexperienced contractor. You're just getting kind of like you're running the mill where, oh, you know what, so and so, Caltrans going to bid for 120 million. So let's say Fred Smith puts in bid for 100 million, right? And then Jane Doe puts in it for 90 million. So they're like, oh, you know what, Jane Doe's got the lowest bid, so we'll go with Jane Doe. But nobody does their research. Nobody does their due diligence. Nobody goes to make sure that Jane Doe. How long has Jane Doe been doing business, right? Construction business, right? So a lot of times they just have a general contractor. So what happens with these building contractors? Now Jane Doe gets the contract. She goes out and then she'll bid. She'll throw the bid out there. Hey, I need an electrician. I need a masonry guy. I need somebody, right? And whoever can get the lowest bid, that's what they do. They take the lowest bid, and then they bring them on site, and this is what you get. So you're just trying to finish a project that's under bid and with the cheapest rates out there. So you
Right.
get what you pay for, like they say.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, yeah. So it looks like we could use more experienced people with a little more due diligence.
Yeah.
Due diligence. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Since we're on that neck of the woods there down West Weber Avenue, as I said, I went there, checked out stuff. Now, coming back, I noticed something along the walkway there along the water. It's a nice area. I like it. It was a nice breeze out that day. But when you get toward the end of it, the part closest to where they're building the city hall, it's interesting. Let me pull up the clip here. And you head back. You've got bums passed out all along there. Every few feet, somebody else is snoozing, or they're covered up with their bicycle. There was one dog out there. And we've talked about things that we could do with this area and revitalizing it and all this. And I noticed this the other day. I mean, in my humble opinion, I think before you can even begin to talk about revitalizing anything in that neck of the woods, you got to get rid of this. I mean, definitely a few spots there along the way you could smell the urine, and from the looks of it, it would definitely, could use a touch of a pressure washer, pretty nasty, and it's sad, because like I said, it's a nice area. I like going there. I like to ride my bike down there, walk. I just recently took some pictures of somebody there a couple of weeks ago, and another. I don't know. Maybe some of those are the guys from Trinity Parkway that refused the services. Everybody wants to know where they went. Well, maybe that's a few from there. But now I left there, and on my way back through town. This is Fremont Street and North San Joaquin. You got people camping on the sidewalk there. And this here is around the corner. This is Oak and North San Joaquin. And there sits a vacant lot with some campers there. Now, what's interesting, at the council meeting the other night, they did pass a new ordinance, and this is going to require everyone who owns a vacant lot or building that they have to now register it and pay, I guess it's a yearly fee. I believe it was $826. And let me say, they did say that it was 800 vacant buildings, they said, are here in the city. They actually thought the number was lower, but they went out and did some work and found out that, it's like 800 buildings, and they're not quite sure of the number of vacant lots. But now they want all these lots and buildings registered. They want to get $826 a year per head for this, and hopefully move in a direction of maybe getting these people to do something with this property, building, whatever, or maybe sell it to somebody who will do something, et cetera, et cetera. My question is, after what we just watched there on the video, like that vacant lot there on Oak Street, would the $826 pay for the room and board for the guys in the tents? I mean,
Well, let me, J Man, there's a couple things going on. They go after these homeless problems without a solution in mind. Okay, like they did at Kennedy Parkway. Okay, that's fine. Get them out of there, but there's no place for them to go. Okay, not saying that we need to provide a home or a place for every person to leave. But there should be a program that they can go into, learn how to straighten nails or whatever it's going to do, so they can make an income. And then all the all the empty buildings in Stockton, Stockton has become a non-friendly business community. There's you go down Pacific Avenue, Harding Way to Hammer Lane. There's over 75 empty businesses on Pacific Avenue, one of our main thoroughfares. So why is Stockton not a business-friendly city anymore? I remember when it used to be just everything thriving in the town, and now it's all dried up. There needs to be something done to promote good business. And I think charging somebody $800 to have an empty building is a little much. You need to put together business incubators and things that'll get guys that want to start, be entrepreneurs, and start building businesses down. And instead of just standing on the problem.
right.
I mean,
Well,
I've said a lot there. It's one thing to get another.
yeah. I mean, it seems to be the thing in California, especially in blue cities, and the state. They like to regulate the shit out of everything, and then wring every tax dollar that they can out of it, and still, we got bums passed out all over the streets. Vacant buildings all over the place. Can't get businesses here. Well, why? Well, because for a lot of them, I mean, they'll come and take a look, but all they got to do is turn and look over to Lathrop and realize that they can do business for a fraction of the cost. Where do you think they're going to go? So I mean, my personal opinion is, the overregulation, and the taxes, they got to put incentives out there. I had discussions about bringing tech companies here, and you're not going to get a big fish, but startups, make it friendly for them, because eventually startups, they get acquired by the big fish. And if you got a startup here and they do good, now the big fish comes, now he's here, and most of the time they wind up buying more office space or more warehouse space or whatever. So that's your way in with the technology sector. It's really sad to see just this economic stagnation, and I don't know, guys. Any ideas as far as getting business here?
what's the logic behind the $800? Is that like per month or is that per year?
No, I understand it's yearly, but it's just the way of, I don't know, getting these property owners, and let's face it, a lot of them are not people that live here. They're Bay Area people and out-of-state people. Um, well, okay, I know for a fact there's a building right next to the post office on West Lane there, that one, and they have been putting notices on that building constantly. And you'll see them like they'll fly off the building, they'll be blown all over the street and stuff. And I guess the owner is down south somewhere, down around Pismo Beach somewhere, or whatever, that area. And yeah, it's just sitting there, and they owe fines for various stuff to the city. So absentee owners that are just letting the building sit there, a lot of them might be in that boat where they've got violations that they owe the city money for. Okay, that's money owed that we're not getting. But yeah, I mean, the 826, I guess this is sort of like supposed to be, okay, if you're just going to let a property sit here, you're going to have to pay something for it, And if you don't want to do that, well, how about maybe sell it to somebody who wants to do something with it. So that's kind of the logic behind it. But anyway, it did pass 7-0, and it will now be official ordinance.
Yeah. One thing I found out about Stockton is that they make it really hard for small business to thrive here, right? So it's when I was running for mayor, and I found out that a friend of mine was actually trying to open up some shops, and they literally like charge you an arm and a leg, right? From the permits to everything. So that means if you're gonna demo a wall, you had to get a permit to demo the wall, and then once you get the permit to demo the wall, you got to get a permit to extend the wall, right? So it's like, oh, wow. So it's permit after permit after permit, and by the time you put like an added room or something to it, you're already out of the pocket like $40,000, right? So it's really hard, and that's why nobody wants to do business in Stockton, because it's just I mean our city councilors and the city managers, right? They had to find other ways of generating revenue instead of trying to turn away business, because business is what thrives, and that's our local economy. If we don't have small shops, nobody's gonna go out. If all we see is homelessness on the street and bums sleeping at the corners, and everything stinks like piss and shit, nobody wants to go downtown. It doesn't matter what you do with downtown. It doesn't matter what you do with like Pacific Avenue. It doesn't matter if you're doing it on West Lane, Ben Holt, or Pershing, right? If it's just an empty lot with a bunch of homelessness there, and it costs so much to do business, nobody wants to do business. I mean, I want to open up a shop, but if I go into a uh, business lot, right, and there's no other shops around there except for one, and the whole building, the whole complex is empty, it's like, what's the point of me going in there? Because you don't have any customers coming in. You don't have people, want to come to that particular, right, to drive business there. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. So people will go where there's business. People will go where people want to go. So that means, you have other cities like Lathrop, Manteca, even Lodi is thriving, because why? The cost of doing business there is cheaper. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to be in Stockton, because all you get is all the homelessness and all the, poop and the pee all over the place, right? So that's why. Yeah, so it's really hard to do business in Stockton.
Right. Well, yeah, we got a lot of things to overcome in those areas. So yeah, the business development, the homeless issue. I mean, it's all tied together, and with the crime, break-ins at the new city hall. So yeah. Yeah, a lot going on. So,
Can I offer my solution?
Oh, yeah, please.
First, audio check. Is everyone's audio okay? Is there any echo or Is it? Can everyone hear each other? There's no issues, right?
You guys can hear us, right?
Yeah, there's no
I
echo.
can hear you guys, but it seems like we're echoing when I'm talking. That's why I had
Yeah,
it
see,
mute.
see that
I
that's
Somebody
what I've
pressed
got-
noticed.
somebody-
so it doesn't echo.
Oh, so I think it's his microphone.
Whose?
I think it's Showa's microphone that's causing the echo because everyone else can hear the echo.
Oh, are your speakers on?
Yeah. Let me.
Oh, yeah. If you had a headset or earbuds, that would knock that out.
Okay.
I recommend using a headset because when you just use like a laptop, your webcam is right above it, and your speakers are like in your keyboard, so it's gonna pick it up because it's loud enough to the webcam.
Oh, yeah.
Audio. That's why we have to use a headset, so
Yeah.
there's no feedback.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, you guys sound okay, on my end. So
Well, that's fine. Just moving on, I recommend using a headset. USB is the best. So my solution for the problem, okay, so you guys ever see the movie Scarface?
oh yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like Scarface mentality. So let's see. So let's name our issues. Okay, so issue number one, we want people to have a business and start a business in Stockton, right? Okay, so what's the roadblock? What's the issue? Man, I'd really like to make a business in Stockton downtown, but the issue is that it's there's a lot of permits and hoops to have to jump through. There's a lot of break-ins, and it smells like ass because there's it's not very clean, so it's not very inviting.
Right.
So I think what was the analogy we made last time? You're not from Stockton. You drive through downtown because it's downtown, and first impressions are everything. So what do you see when you drive downtown? Pretend you don't know anything. What do you see? You see abandoned buildings. You see people fucking
Burnt buildings.
Burnt buildings. You see people shitting on the street or some shit, or some tweaker passed out on the sidewalk.
Oh, you're gonna love the last video I have for tonight, but
I bet we
keep
are.
going.
So it's like you see a lot of reasons to. Okay, this city, Stockton, gives a lot of reasons, gives you a lot of business, a small business, and a lot of reasons not to start a business here and to go somewhere else where it's much more inviting and welcoming. So my solution for that would be, so it's like I think we talked about last time, bureaucracy and red tape. And what that means to me is more like, hey, the solution is simple, but people are like, oh, sorry, we have to talk to the boss about this, or it has to go up higher the food chain, and it's like it gets congested, and to the point where it's like, fuck, I'd rather just do it myself because I'm waiting for it's like in Los Angeles there was a bunch of wildfires, right, and that burnt down a bunch of the houses, and people like, I want to go back and I want to get my shit and build it back up. And like Show was saying, oh, guess what? You need a permit to do that. I'm like, it's my house though. Sorry, you need a permit. So it's like the more the average citizen, the average Joe hears, I need a permit to do just about every damn thing. Do you think they're going to be any inclined to want to start a business in your city when they can go somewhere else? And it's like, all right, buddy, just pay for the business permit. That's it. That's all you got to do. Like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And you're telling me I don't have to worry about getting my shit broken into? Yeah, buddy, because we have cops that actually do their job. I was envisioning Lodi. So it's like if you had a choice between Stockton and Lodi and you wanted to start a small business, where do you think people are going to go? If you drove downtown Lodi versus downtown Stockton at 3 p.m. on Friday, which is going to look a lot nicer and more active? Because I've been to both cities, and I can tell you, I see families out shopping at the damn thrift store in Lodi. I don't really see that in Stockton. All I see is Mad Max, pretty much. I'm talking Mel Gibson, Thunderdome. Like, that's the vibe I get. Completely different when you leave Stockton. So, like I was saying, name our issues out. First issue, solve the homelessness. You want to solve it, pretty much toss them all on the bus that reject your offer for help, put them on the bus and drop them off somewhere else. And people think, well, what about human rights or the optics? And I call this weaponized empathy. I read a lot about psychology. And some people, you can reach them logically. Some people, you can reach emotionally. And some people, just show me the money. So, let's see. Point of view. If I wanted to emotionally manipulate people in politics, I would do stuff that affects them. Like here's a good point. Immigration's a tough topic, right? So it's like, look at all these immigrant kids, right? Oh no, they're all in these in cages or stuff like that, and that strikes at your heartstrings, right? Because hey, it's a kid in a cage, and they didn't ask for any of this, right?
Right.
So that's touching at the heartstring, but logically, they're not American. So therefore, what about the American kid who's dying in the street in Stockton right now that doesn't have anywhere to go? Whose life's more valuable? One who was born here, whose blood is on this soil, or someone who just walked in and got a fucking green card visa? I'm saying both are bad because both kids don't deserve the fucked up shit that happens to them in the world. It's more like it's thrown at them. So you can save everyone. And my mentality is that you should put your people first because humans are tribal by nature. So if Stockton was a fucking kingdom, like we're going like Jerusalem times and shit, like think of the Crusades, and it's like castles and forts. Why do I care about someone else's fort that doesn't even live here or pay the taxes here, right? So it replaced mayor with king. Would you not want to have the best the best for your people, right? So let's see. I want people to open up shops in my kingdom, like say it's a blacksmith, right? Okay, so how do I get you to work here instead of somewhere else? All right, buddy, I'm not going to charge you out the ass for a blacksmith permit. It's a pretty good deal. Okay, so you're guaranteed safety is here. No one's going to break in because we have funded officers who actually know what they're doing. Their hands are tied so that they can actually stop someone from breaking in. So the response time isn't 20 minutes, it's 2, which is pretty good, I guess. So the more reasons you give people to spend money and to move to your city, the more successful your people are going to be. So issue 1, homelessness, put them on a bus, get rid of them. Because if they don't want to help you, if they don't want to accept the helping hand, like I said, not everyone who's homeless wants to be there. They're like, man, if only someone would give me an opportunity to get out of this situation, bam, what do you think we have all these programs for? I'd be happy my tax money goes to that. Because it helps out those who are homeless, not by choice, but by circumstance. And now your tax money went to saving them. Now they're a productive member of society because the money went to a program, bam, pulled them out of the hole. Now they're out of the hole. What do you do about those that like to remain there and rather stab themselves with fucking heroin shots and fentanyl? Huh? How many of our people have drugs killed, especially fentanyl? I'm sure you've heard the opioid epidemic, right? So my question being for the second issue is the first one's homelessness. You pretty much solved that by if you don't want to help, if you don't want to accept rehab, we're just going to put you on a bus and throw you out of our city like they've done to our city.
Or jail.
Or jail. But then again, the question is your tax money still going to some dude in a jail who's just going to get out eventually and do the same thing and again. So it's like, what's a more permanent solution? Permanent solution is removing them, right? It's like you have to remove... it doesn't matter how bad it looks. See, I believe in necessary evil. It's more like if I have to do a bunch of bad things in order to achieve a good outcome, and if that involves like removing a bunch of people who don't want to be positive members of society, who don't contribute, but rather do drugs and fucking shit on the sidewalk so a kid can't go play at the park because that's their campground, what kind of society is that for the kids, right? So it's like, how about we nip that in the bud and just remove the issue? Because a playground is a playground for kids. It's not a campground for hobos.
Right.
Especially not for the last 5 years consecutively. So remove the homeless population, offering help, jail if we want to go that route, or just get them out of the city. Second issue is for businesses. I'd remove the whole permanent loopholes. No hoops. We're going to remove that problem. One permit should all it requires to get a business permit. Because think about it. Okay, you come to Stockton, you're from the Bay Area, you want to set up a bakery. Okay, you're paying taxes, you work here. Are you going to pay for a Stockton permit to open up a business shop? No more permits, no more hoops. You're already paying us. All right, here you go. Write it up, stamp it, bam. They go open up a bakery. That money goes in, people will go spend money. That money comes in through the city. So the issue I'm hearing with construction is that everything seems to be outsourced, right? So all I'm hearing is that yada yada, we're going to hire this crew from this city, from God knows where. But what about the people who actually know how to do construction in your own city that would much rather build that, city hall instead of someone else? Because when it comes to tribalism, it's more like you want people who have the best interest of your tribe in mind. So it's like, hey, I live here. I'm a construction worker, and I want to go build a playground for all the kids of Stockton, or I want to go build a movie theater or whatever. The point is that everyone who's working on this job has an incentive more than just money. It's because their family, their kids, everyone else that they know is going to be going there. To people who aren't live here, it's just another contract. So you
Right.
think they're going to be putting their best effort in? Really, a bunch of the what do you call it, the middleman, right? Because
Uh-huh.
there's someone who gets in the way. How about we cut out the middleman? Right?
That's always a good
It's
idea.
between A and B, baby. Because at the end of it, that's more money for you and me. We don't need a middleman. A middleman to me just sounds like more extortion. Because I think Show is saying that the more permits they add, that just sounds like, doesn't that sound like extortion to you in a legal funny way? Because like, hey, you want this permit to do this, to do this, to do this, but it's like,
Well,
why would I do that when I can move to another city, get one, and not have to do any of that loophole shit?
yeah, well, us libertarians do have a mantra. Taxation is theft, so it could kind of fall under that. But yeah, I mean, look, you made a lot of good points, and I think what you're saying is that yeah, in order to prove to make this place more viable for business, and in the end making it more livable for everybody, that these are all the problems that we need to
And there's
address.
solutions and they're necessary, but the issue is, like I said, it's weaponized empathy. If doing these things makes you look like a bad guy, then who gives a shit? Because at the end of the day, you're benefiting everyone who lives there, right? It's
Right.
about it's not about you. Think about it. It's something higher than yourself. Think about your family. If you have family here, I picture about this. I'm gonna be dead like in 100 years, or maybe less than that. So it's like everyone's forgotten. But what about your kids and everyone who lives on? A
Right.
playground built today could last for the next 200 years. And guess what? We do have buildings in this city that have been here for more than a century, and they're still standing that we still use. So the issue is that a lot of things built in Stockton were built in a time when people gave a shit about what the fuck they were doing instead of, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a contract. So I leave you
Right.
with this final question. All three of you fine gentlemen, from a young guy to more experienced older guys, is that am I a bit crazy for thinking that why would I as a young man put my faith into a system that doesn't give a shit about me? If you can't even build the basic necessities for my community, why the hell would I want to build a business here? Just think about that. Am I crazy for thinking that?
No, no, not at all. I mean, I think you guys would agree.
I totally agree, and that was one of the things that I saw that was wrong with Stockton is that a lot of people, nobody wants to do business here because it's why would I want to do business here, right? I'd rather have a business somewhere else because it's other cities will take care of me, right? It goes back to kind of you live here, but you really want to build up Stockton, but Stockton doesn't seem to really want to build me up in a way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I personally that uh, phases have to go through. The city is eligible. I'm the only one here that remembers Stockton was back. This community, uh, uh, it worth living. It was providing the great, uh, thriving.
All right, hey, Bill, you're cutting in and out your audio,
Okay, you got me.
and now you sound good. Yeah, you're just cutting in and out there a little
Get
bit.
closer to the microphone.
It's my microphone. My phone. Sit down. Um, so Stockton back in the '60s was amazing, and there was homeless people, and there was dope fiends. There was all kinds of stuff around still, but it just wasn't hit the mag it is today. Now, if the city and the county get their shit together and produce rehab centers for people that are on drugs, that have mental issues, people that have financial, don't know how to work, living, and because we're going on the third generation of homeless people right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those people have been out there; they don't know how to do nothing, collect cans, bottles, and that stuff. So some of them need to learn how to work, learn how to be trained. So we need to set up some programs where they can teach people how to do. Like they have a program for the mentally handicapped, uh, the the Down syndrome kids, like that are,
Mm-hmm.
they package, you know they they with plastic wrap packages stuff. Like if you go buy something at Home Depot wrapped all in plastic around it, they provide a job for them, and a lot of that provided for people that are coming off of homelessness, because that is where it has to begin. It has to begin with cleaning up the street, cleaning up the homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start doing that, then the businesses look around and crapping in the doorways anymore. People aren't peeing on the street anymore, and all of a sudden it becomes a place where you can walk and you can have coffee, you can do business. It doesn't smell like crap. I mean, trust me, I work downtown, and I hate downtown, and trust me, there were a lot of people, and a lot of food, a lot of stuff all around, and it's just guys that don't have any place to go, don't know what to do themselves. So you just scoop them up, say, look, and I'm with Scott. I'm with Scott. If you don't want to do something with yourself and come to one of our programs, good. We're going to send you back wherever it is you can. Here's a couple $100. Here's a bus ticket. Get out and do that with a degree of of aggression. Let's go here. So it's a process that has to take place, and
Mm-hmm.
Stockton can come back. It's Stockton's a great city, but another problem is most of the people that are running our they're not from here. They don't even know what it's supposed to look like. So it's it's, it's heartbreaking for me because I've been here all my life.
Right. Okay. Well, that being said, I want to move on here. I want to play a video. This is from the city council meeting the other night, and just kind of touching off of what we've been talking about. I think a lot of it. Well, could it be the way that we're treated, that our leadership treats our people, or that the way our institutions treat our people? Anyway, this is kind of a sad story, but I really wanted to share this, and well, yeah, you guys watch this, and we'll get your feedback.
Asmarie Tate.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and fellow Stockton residents. My name is Jasmarie Tate.
My name is Janae Holmes.
I come here tonight because, let me take a deep breath, because I keep hearing the council use words such as trust, truth, and transparency as we discuss building more stuff within Stockton. But I need to ask, are we building that same trust when it comes to our people, our families, and the way the city handles tragedy? I'm speaking today on behalf of a life that was taken too soon. Cara Thompson, a 21-year-old young woman who died in a crash in our city last October. The driver that's responsible had no license, no insurance, nor was her vehicle registered. And still, this city labeled her death as a solo crash. No charges has been made, no responsibility, nor was there justice. So while we're talking about building more things up in Stockton, I have to ask another question. Are we building homes without building accountability? Are we pouring concrete into the streets while still allowing injustice to slip through the cracks?
The city says it's investing in development to build a better future. But how can we claim to build a better Stockton when families like Kyra are left broken, confused, and silenced? The Stockton Police Department lost Kyra's belongings after the crash. No explanation and no apology. San Juan King General Hospital refused to let her parents see her unless they made funeral arrangements. Imagine your child dying suddenly and being told you can't say goodbye unless you call a mortuary. And just to add a note, the hospital didn't notify her parents that she passed away. Somebody else on the scene notified them. So what future are we really building if the very institution meant to protect and serve are the ones that are causing trauma? I hear the words transparency and trust in this room tonight, but Kyra's family received neither. In truth, the truth is being buried beneath paperwork and silence. So as we approve developments, zoning plans, and budget increases, I challenge this council to apply those same values of growth and truth to how we treat lives that are already here.
Still counting.
Because if a city can expand its housing,
just
then it also
playing a
can expand its
recording.
heart,
It's not
its
playing.
ethics, its responsibility. Justice doesn't start in a courtroom. It starts in these type of meetings. It starts when city leaders refuse to ignore young black women who are treated like they didn't matter. It starts when you say, what happened to Kyra Thompson? What happened to Kyra Thompson was wrong, and we will not let it happen again. If we truly want to build a stronger Stockton, we must build more than homes. We must build integrity in our departments, compassion in our hospitals, accountability in our police force, and courage in this council. Say her name with me, Kyra Thompson.
I'm Kyra's dad, and I just want to say my baby was a 4.0 student. She graduated from UEI with triple honors, and her life was taken by somebody with no accountability who still drives around today. No tags, 4 years. Like the older gentleman said earlier today, she has a car with no month, no year, but that's okay. But if I park my car on the street with no insurance, what happens? I get towed. Is that because I have something to lose and they don't? It doesn't matter. She took a life, she'd be held responsible. And we just want justice. That's all we're here for today. I've talked to a couple of people before, about this issue. We just want the right thing done. My baby did not deserve this. She was coming home. She wasn't one of the kids to be out there in the streets, running the streets. She'd be at home making TikTok, studying, doing her hair, that type of thing. So you guys, if you guys can find in your hearts to think about this and do the right thing, that's all we're asking.
Thank you.
We also started a petition for her case to be heard. We emailed every last one of you councilmen, as well as the mayor. I even used my own platform to get in contact through DM, through your comments, and nothing from either last one of you. Jason Lee, you even talked to their parents, and still we haven't received anything back from you. We also talked to one of the new captains. She's a captain now, police officer, Annabelle. Nothing back from her at all, and she came to the house. So we talked to her in public. Also, nothing. Thank you for your time, residents of Stockton, councilmen, and the mayor.
Okay. Yeah, I think that young lady kind of said it all. And, everything from, questioning what the city is doing, how the city is building, what are we really building. It speaks to the values that we have. And I mean, the way that family was treated by, the police losing the daughter's belongings, not being allowed to visit in the hospital, and all of that is just wrong.
I've got some input.
Okay, what about Scotty?
Imagine hearing all of that, and then you get a letter in the mail from Stockton saying, would you like to start a business here? Would you do that after hearing all that shit? I wouldn't want to start a business in Stockton after hearing all that.
It definitely wouldn't help.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't help.
You know, not a good look. And yeah, I really feel for the family. You know, and you know why? Because somebody who doesn't take responsibility. You know, another loser. No license, no registration, no insurance. You know, we have a lot of people driving around here like that. I mean, if you're driving on the streets around here on a regular basis, you're literally, it's like almost like gambling, you know, that if you get hit, you're hoping that the other guy has insurance, all right, because there's a good chance he might not, you know, or might not even have a license. And I mean, hey, we have a city council member from District 5 who got popped for not having tags up to date. I mean, you know, come on, man. I mean, you know, I mean, yeah. I mean, where's the responsibility for this fall? You know, I mean, it's just, you know.
Oh, can I go?
Oh yeah, you got something to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, a couple things. That was pretty damn deep, man. Shit, that
Yeah.
fucking touched the heartstrings. Reason is because a couple months back I had a cousin who got fucking shot in Stockton, shot in the back by a couple assholes protecting a kid, and it's like, damn, bro. So I feel related to this on a level that's pretty deep, and I guess what's my solution to this? That entire sequence is my entire point on why there feels like there is no community, there's no culture, there's no connection between the city and her people. So if there's no connection between a city and her people, then gee, I wonder why this place is a fucking dump. I mean, come on, let's be real, right? So what I'm thinking about this is that when you go to city council, like they were saying, I keep hearing the word justice, justice, and justice, and I'm thinking, city, they can't promise you justice, so it's like, well, what's next? Well, is vengeance? Well, what is that supposed to look like? You know, when you're waiting from results from your council, your city to give you an answer like, hey, where's my daughter? I don't know. That's just pretty fucked up that you can't see your daughter who just got into a car crash, and it's like, sorry, you got to call the mortuary or the morgue. It's like, what the fuck, bro?
Well, I want to stop you right there because in the 7 years that I spent as a road agent for the medical examiner, I had to pick up a lot of cases, you know, in the ER that had passed, accident cases, you know, all that stuff. And the family, absolutely, I mean, most of the time they were there, you know. And what I heard, the way they were treated at the hospital, that I would never imagine seeing on any given day doing that job. And yeah, we always gave the family their space and a little bit of time. You know, I mean, that just goes without saying. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that, you know, in the sequence because let me do this here. Okay, Bill's back on, but yeah, that just kind of stuck out. You know, in that narrative there, when they mentioned that, it's like, oh no, don't tell me that they, you know, hopefully they're not treating everybody like that. I mean, just, you know.
You want how I'd fix that? So it's like everything that happened, right? That happened. You can't go in the past and change it, but it's like, what can we learn from this whole event, and what can we do better, right? So what I'd recommend, if anyone from City Council is listening, is that let's see here, right? So someone died that didn't have to die because someone was a fucking idiot and was driving a car that they didn't probably own, they didn't have license, that didn't even have fucking papers. So it's like, it's red flag after red flag. Like, there's more red flags than a Chinese communist parade. So at that point, you gotta think, well, that doesn't seem like an isolated incident. What it sounds like is a hit and run from someone who's not really supposed to be in Stockton to begin with, because you think they'd have fucking an ID or papers. I mean, like, you're driving in the same city, right? But, oh, nothing at all. And I think I recall them saying is that the person who did this hasn't been caught. They're still out there driving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So that doesn't really help the case either. So
Oh,
my
hell no.
solution for this, in case, I don't know, I don't want to call it solution, but it's more like what to learn from if you're on city council is that if you want to improve your connection between your people and you, because like they're saying is that they reached out, nobody responded, nobody. So it's like, what the fuck? What would I vote for you for then? Right? So it's just something to think
Yeah.
about is that the people that you put in positions of power, if they can't go 5 minutes out of their day to respond to your pleas for such a fucked up event like this, then that doesn't all help your case either for the connection. So
Right.
I'll put it like this: a Wi-Fi connection, it's pretty fucking weak, right? It's not
Yeah.
strong at all, and the reason is because the city and its people are not in sync. So what do you guys think?
All right. Well, on that point, I'm going to jump to the next video here, which kind of ties into that. But I just want to mention that, yeah, she did say that, she reached out to everybody, no response. Jason Lee, though, is in contact with the family. That I can tell you for a fact. They are having some conversations. So, he is at least, doing that much. But on that note now, regarding how our council people communicate with their constituents, let's take a look at District 2, okay? Because there's a short little video, but it's a constituent and their council representative, and it's pretty self-explanatory. And let's check this out. Come on here.
So I'm all about communication. I grew up old school. Like that's my thing. Like communication is my thing. I like to talk to that person one-on-one. I don't like to he said, she say, that's not me. So when I ask to speak to a council person, I would appreciate if I can get that. And I have. I've talked to a lot of the councilmen, the mayor, and I've made relationships with each and most of every one of you, but I can't seem to do that with my own Ponce. Mayor, I cannot seem to reach out to her. I cannot seem to get a call back. I can't seem to get an email back. I can't get anything back, and I don't understand why. When I reached out to tell her, hey, I'm in your district, I'm welcoming myself to you, I'm asking you if you need my help, because when I'm asking for a specific councilman to call me and I'm giving them my assistance to help my district area, no calls, no emails. And the email that I sent her, very small paragraph, telling her exactly what I'm telling you right now, July 11th. Today's July 29th. We're almost in August. I met her the other day when I was nominated for Measure W, which I very appreciate, and I'm very excited to do so. And I have many other things behind my belt right now that I'm very excited for. But I just would appreciate if you can send the message to your Councilman Ponce to please return my calls, please return my email, so that I can assist her, because I don't hear anything from her. And I'm sure everybody else here today and everybody who's watching, they don't hear nothing from her. And I see a lot of things that are going on in my district. It's very dirty. There are young kids that are stealing in that area. There's prostitutes in that area that are young kids. There's just so much crime going on over there. There's just so much. And because I'm willing to help her, please just give her the message.
But tonight I want to address a public comment that was addressed to me. I take my role as a council member very serious, and I pride myself for being accessible to my constituents in my district. While it was claimed that multiple attempts were made to reach me, I have not received any such calls. That said, for anyone with an honest concern or any ideas, and not political games, I can always be reached directly to my cell number, 209-645-4251. Thank you.
Well, How's that for an exchange? I mean, okay. Well, let's first address the obvious elephant in the room. Somebody here is full of shit. Okay, one of these gals or the other. Now, if you pay close attention, when Mariella Ponce gave her response, she started breaking up a little bit there at the end, almost like she was about to cry. Did you catch that? You know? Yeah. Now, she has been mute, literally. She's missed some meetings from what I understand, too. But for the most part, she's mute. She's like Susan Lenz II. You know, she doesn't speak, nothing. Now, on a side note here, okay, if I may digress, during the campaign, all right, I was at pretty much all the forums and debates and you know, candidates nights and all that stuff was going on because I was working for one of the campaigns, so I kind of had to be there. Okay, so and I got to meet a lot of the candidates from, you know, all different races and stuff. Never saw her. All right, I got to meet her opponent. Nice guy, experienced planning commissioner. Okay, he was asking me. He goes, "Where is she?" He says, I want to discuss the issues with her in front of these people. He was there to play. Okay, he was ready to play ball. He wanted to debate and discuss the issues with the constituents. She was nowhere to be found. I have pictures and videos, some of pretty much all the candidates. Okay, I have none of her. All right, because I never saw her. All right, so I'm more inclined to believe that she's the one that's full of shit. Why? Because everybody else up there on that dais speaks and they engage, you know, and you know who they are and you know what they're about. All right, nobody knows squat about her. How does someone like that get elected? That's my question. Okay, because her opponent was pretty qualified, you know, and pretty solid, you know, in my estimation at least. But you know, she's sitting up there like she can be replaced by a lawn statue. You know. I'm serious, you know, unless you're just there to be a puppet.
That's the problem with Stockton's council. They're all puppets.
But for who?
Well, I really believe she is, and it's not hard to draw a line from A to B to know who the puppet master is. Okay, the same one who's yanking the chain of quite a few of them up there on that fucking dais. You know, and I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice because of the summertime holidays and not mention any names, at least not tonight. But you know what? I've about had it up to here with these fucking dirt sheets and the people that run them. All right. And thinking that, oh, they're the only voice in town, they're the only ones, and what? These people that we elect, they're willing to take a knee and kiss the ass of this motherfucker, you know, whose biggest accomplishments in life is losing 4 elections and being named in a fucking grand jury report, you know, and you know, again, I'm going to be nice and not name any names, but I think we all know what the fuck is going on, okay, in City Hall. It's not all what it appears to be. It's called shadow government, all right? And so, you know what? That being said, I think Our Lady from District 2 is there for a reason, a puppet. Going to vote certain way when needed. All right, but as far as the people in District 2, you know, I mean, at first I felt sorry for you all because you know this is what you're going to be stuck with for the next 3.5 years as far as representation. But you know what? On second thought, if you were stupid enough to elect somebody like this, I have no sympathy for you. Okay, and if your district is half as bad as the other gal was pointing out with the crime and the filth and the prostitution and everything else, I have no sympathy for you. All right, you need help. Go call your goddamn council representative, and I hope she answers your fucking call, and I hope she treats you better than she's obviously treated this other woman. And like I said, if it was anybody else up there in the dais, I might have gave them the benefit of the doubt. But seeing this kind of behavior, oh, by the way, I watched the whole council meeting. I looked at body language and you know all this stuff, and just you can sense a level of arrogance, and combined with maybe a little bit of I don't really want to be here. I'd rather be doing at home, doing my hair or whatever the fuck. But no, I mean this was way off the rails for me.
I got to sense that as a young guy. What was it again? Political games. I think I heard her mention that. I don't know. That's kind of a jab. I mean,
and usually the people that complain the most about something are the biggest offenders of that very thing.
Good point.
Yeah.
So I'm not really into politics, but I'm not gonna lie. Like the more I look into Stockton, it's kind of like you may not be into politics, but politics sure is into you. And yeah, so it's like I guess I'm kind of getting involved anyway. Because when you think about it, it's more like we elect a bunch of dumbasses to make decisions that either benefit or fuck up our lives, and it seems we're getting the latter option. So what I would suggest is that the big R word is respect. Is that those that you serve to put you in power, the least you could do is look them in the eye when they come to you and plead, instead of reading a nonchalant tone off a fucking script. I'll mention this out is I've never seen Trump read a fucking script, and that man can really whip an audience out. And the reason is because that dude can fucking talk for hours, and he actually talks to them, not at them. And also, he doesn't need a script to do it. So my case in point is it's all about the connection between you and your people, and the connection ain't that strong if you don't respect them enough to even look them in the eye. So I leave that with
at least
you,
return a call.
Yeah, return
or
a
an
call.
email.
Oh, I'm a tech guy, by the way, so I did the math. So from July 11th to the 29th, that's about something 29th, 18 days.
Yeah.
That's about almost 3 weeks. So she said, I have not received any evidence. So I'm thinking, you're telling me that you haven't got a single correct email to your right email address in that time, because she said she spammed your email address. And correct me if I'm wrong, but an email address can tell you when that shit's been sent, right? So it tells you when.
Listen, the city's IT department
Sucks ass.
hooks up every one of those clowns with the email, the phone. They got their own city tablets, the whole nine. Okay. Believe me, and all those email addresses work. All right, so, yeah.
They get paid more than $50K a year, and all they do is sit up there and pretty much talk about shit that doesn't really matter. And so I just have to.
Well, actually, the council people make about half that.
Really, half that?
Oh, yeah. The mayor makes a lot more.
I was throwing out the number. I just guess my point is that they make more than someone who works at McDonald's would have for a wage. And my frustration comes from the fact that you're paid to be incompetent, and it's more like, what about the people that are under you, because it's like, hey, bro, this is your city, right? So it's thinking about the long-term solution, as every choice that city council makes can either benefit or sabotage the future of Stockton. So I guess this is more like advice, is that when you have multiple people who are on city council, like our city council, this is like, I guess if this is me up there talking, what I would recommend is that fix your connection to your people. So it's like, picture this, is that you may or may not be here in Stockton in 5 years. You may go up to some other political office, or, like whatever, like so many others have done in our city, or you may stay. So my question is that why not make the best possible choices you can for Stockton? Because this isn't, I'll be blunt, this isn't a fucking video game. There's no retries. You can't go back and fix a fucked up decision. It's like, oh, we're bankrupt. Oh, I'll just go back. Oh, wait, you can't go back. So think about all the people here, because every tweaker that walks on the street is just another reason for people not to move here. You know, fuck it, I'm just gonna go off. Do you have any more water? I feel like if city council is listening,
go ahead, take a break. Take a break.
well, I drink the water. I just feel like as a young guy, right? It's that city council has not given me a lot of what's it called, enthusiasm to support them, right? So it's mainly like this: is that what you doing to benefit not me individually? What are you doing to benefit our entire city as a whole? Every person who has a fucking zip code here and pays taxes and does their part, what are you doing to benefit them? And if I had to name 3 things that fuck over Stockton, it'd be outsourcing jobs, pocketing money from buildings that don't need to be fucking built, and the worst part of it all, the absolute worst thing you can do as a person in power over a bunch of others, is not have a relationship built on respect. We don't have that relationship. The social contract's been fucked.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with that. There is no social contract. So one final point is that if someone goes to city council and that they offer their assistance and they repeatedly offer to help by multiple means of communication, why would you not want that help, right? If someone's offering to help me and voluntarily, like, hey, I'm willing to work on the council to help you guys make the better decisions for Stockton, because like the lady was mentioning, I don't know about you, but having the city being dirty, fucking kids being on the street pouring shit, fucking hookers everywhere. You tell me if that sounds like a good business proposition for someone who wants to have a startup in Stockton, and they just take one drive-through. You know what? Fuck it, they'll just get a little. Jeff Bezos, if he was still Amazon CEO, would get a little drone and he'd drive around Stockton examining. He doesn't even have to drive; he would just examine and think, nope. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
What hope had? Yeah. Since we're all guys here, we pretty much do all the hard work for society. So if you're a young dude in Stockton and you're the garbage guy, you're the police guy, you're the EMT, you're the backbone of this fucking city, and your job, quite literally, people depend on you. Because I know I hear a lot of ambulances, so EMTs especially. Everyone who helps keep Stockton running, I mean, their job actually is required, like the sewage, the garbage guys, the electricians, all that shit.
Yeah.
Those people are the people that voted and put you into power. And they keep the lights running. So my question being is that, what have you done for them? I mean, they've put you in a position of power and you make a decent, comfy fucking living, right? So you can make a choice and, oh, well, it didn't work out. Someone can lose their fucking job because they're on the bottom of the food chain. They might not recover from that. You could just move on. So it's just to give a fuck about the little guy, because it's the little guy that puts the big guy on the throne. So if there is no such thing as, culture, then there has to be some form of cooperation. Because culture, when you say the word culture, I'm thinking of like, what do we all have in common? Everyone who lives here in Stockton, we don't have a lot in common, right?
Wow.
How do we fix that?
Well, it's a good point. Culture, okay. Hold that thought. But, maybe a lot of it is what we tolerate and what we allow. And because, if you tolerate a certain behavior from somebody, they're going to keep doing it, and the longer they keep doing it, the harder then it's going to be for you to try and, reverse that. And
Like a bully.
Okay, so we seem to tolerate a lot of stuff here, and I want to play my last video clip at night. This is short, but this just happened this morning to a friend of mine, and I don't know. Have any of you guys ever been mooned while at the drive-through at a McDonald's or Starbucks or any fast food joint? Or nobody's ever mooned you?
What's that?
I've been mooned before, but not at the fast joint, no. So.
Okay, well,
Is that a cow?
this happened at McDonald's on Wilson Way this morning.
What the fuck? Yeah, I knew that was at Wilson Way. I already knew. That's new Grand Theft Auto, baby. How's that look, City Council?
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. Yeah, the cops showed up. They shoot her away. That was it. She probably found somewhere else to go do her mooning, and yeah, no one's arrested. No one's arrested. I don't know if you know the one guy with the bicycle had a mask on. That they want to pass a no mask ordinance now, and he's riding around, and you got gals dropping their pants. But yeah, no one's arrested, and once again, it's behavior that's tolerated. And
Well, it goes back to that video where the individuals talking at the city council, right? Because these individuals don't have nothing to lose. What are
But
we
we
gonna
do.
do? Right? We arrest them. Hey, they need a food and shelter anyway. So it's like, do we really? It's like, why are we gonna give them food and shelter? Let's just leave them on the street. But for you and me to do something like that, of course they're gonna either arrest us, write us a ticket for indecent exposure, right? So there's fines attached to it. So there's something for us to lose versus them. There's nothing for them to lose, right? So that's why that's the problem with today's society. It's that we accept it, and we allow our city officials and everybody else to just kind of dictate what is right and what is wrong. And we allow that, and it's like when will the people of the city stand up and say, hey, we had enough, right?
Next mayor.
We had enough. It's the fact that nobody wants to step up, and it's I hear it all for the last 4 years now, 5 years. Everybody wants to bitch and complain, but nobody ever wants to do anything about it, right? When it comes down to, hey, let's really elect somebody who will really clean up the city. Oh, no, 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 we don't want that, because you know what? That's not what we want. We want somebody that will actually just turn the city into shit, because why? You have to remember, when property values go down, all the rich will buy it, and then they will monopolize it. They will build on it, and then what happens? We're stuck with all the cost of living, right? Everything goes up, and nobody sees that. Nobody ever sees that, right? It's like we just tell, hey, let them do what they need to do. It's like it's too much of a hassle to really just change the way things are. So we live like this for the last 20 years. Nothing's ever going to change, and we just kind of accept living in a shithole in a way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we need a warlord. If I can offer my 2 cents on that, you just need someone who doesn't really give a shit about the optics of it. It's quite simple what the solutions are. Just that you need somebody who's got the balls to go out and do it, right? Think about how much you could get done in a single month if you just had a bunch of guys who are like, you know what, we're not going to wait. We're just going to go out and do it. It's that simple. Wouldn't you want your tax dollars to eliminate the homeless fucking problem? To go back to restoring the abandoned buildings? To make it so Stockton's actually a place where people are like, fuck Los Angeles, let's go to Stockton, man. Imagine that. It sounds crazy, but then again, we're living in a crazy time, so why not go all out? I mean, if we have everything to lose, then why wouldn't we go all out in order to preserve that, right? Because, yeah, I give a shit. I mean, it's my fucking family here. It's my entire life. I mean, that's why I care.
Right, yeah. And at the end of the day, we all have to live here. Bill, did you have something you wanted to say there? Your audio.
You're muted. Bill, you muted yourself.
Can't hear you.
Hit the unmute button. But did you mute him?
No, he's not. He's
Hit the unmute request, Bill.
I can't.
Wait, can you unadd him and then add him back in?
Let me try that. No.
Put him back in the lobby.
Hold on a minute.
Well, we're fixing this. What do you think, Showa? Do I sound like an insane madman, or do I sound like a logical person?
No, you sound logical. I think the same way you do, man, because I really believe that, we just need somebody to clean. And that's, if we look at how the Trump administration is doing right now, that's what we need. Somebody to go into these towns and say, you know what? Enough is, we need to get rid of all this crap, right? All these people that don't believe, don't want to improve the system or society, we need to get them out of here. You know, if you were here illegally, you need to get out because you know what? You go anywhere else, right? Nobody allows that. You go to a communist country, they don't
Try
even
that
want you
shit in
there.
Russia. Try that in Russia.
Yeah, try to do that anywhere else, and nobody wants you. But
But why
only
us?
here in America, where we really cater to all the illegal. We cater to the people that are leeches. I'm gonna call them leeches because you know what? That's all they do. They're just sucking us dry, right? They come here, they just want the benefits, the cash, the food stamps, and all that stuff, and they don't care about anything else other than you know what? Give me all the health benefits because I'm gonna you know feed all my family with it, right? And that's all they care about.
Oh,
And you know,
I
we
got
have
one.
to put a stop and say, hey, enough is enough. Let's really just clean house and just start cleaning house and you know make it a better city.
Right.
You were absolutely right about that, and well, I hope I don't get banned off YouTube. Oh, we're not getting banned off YouTube. So, do you how to put this? Okay, so when it comes to the word brotherhood, what do you guys envision? Do you guys envision like a guy that would fucking like give his life for you and shit, like guys you've been through the suck with? So when I think brotherhood, I think of it all goes back to tribes and shit, right? But we're in a different time, or we're in 2025, so it's like, what's the modern version of that? And for me, it's more like pretty much being only how to put this? What's the word? Only give a shit about your own people, pretty much. For example, you're in Stockton, you're born here. Yeah, that's fine. We will give a shit about you. And I think Show is absolutely right that maybe Trump he's onto something about the whole fucking removing the illegals and shit. So I'm thinking about it like this, right? So, excuse me, but isn't this how it works? Is that they come here, hypothetically, this is, I think one of them is that they come here and then they work a job, they don't pay taxes, and then they send the money back to their home country, right? So in doing so, they don't pay taxes, and they take a job that a person who's actually from there could have worked. So I mean, I'm imagining this in like fucking a more cutthroat scenario. Is that you have two guys. One guy is from my land, another guy is not from my land. There's one job. Both have to take care of their families. So why is it that in my land that the person who isn't from here, the foreigner, gets more benefits than someone who is? And so I'm gonna go off on this one. So it's like soldiers and veterans and people who fucking gave their all for America, people who gave their blood, sweat, and tears. They deserve benefits. They deserve everything that America can give them. People who don't deserve that are the ones that aren't from here, right? So it's like, fuck Ukraine, fuck you, Israel, fuck all these other places that we send our money to. How about the people that are dying on our streets, right? You know why Stockton's got such a fucking homeless problem? Well, this is just one city. Imagine if a drop of the fucking money we send to wars outside of country, we could send it, like, just in Stockton, we could solve the fucking thing overnight, right? Because how much of that money could go back to fixing our people's problems? When I say our people, I mean everyone in America, because I'm thinking about it like this, is that you got to be nationalistic, because the other countries, if they could, they'd fucking annihilate you and take your resource. I'm thinking of Russia, China, North Korea, Iran. Those guys, if they could, they'd fucking come over here and take our shit.
They're working the room now.
Yeah,
They have been for quite some time, you know, and what we had to go through the last 4 years. I mean, national security, that became something for the back burner.
Yeah, so why am I the bad guy for wanting to kick all these motherfuckers out who want to kill my people and take my money and fuck over my country, who aren't even here?
No, you're actually.
Why am I the bad guy?
Unfortunately,
the media
we have a good part of our population that feels, they're the same people that feel the pathway to social justice is to go out and burn down every business in your neighborhood, loot the place, burn it down, and fuck those business owners who put up their capital and took a risk to provide goods, services, and jobs to your fucking community. But no. Something's off the rails. Oh, no, something ain't right. We're going to fix it. That's what the left says. We're going to fix it. We know what's best for you. All right, yeah.
Bullshit. They don't even know what a fucking woman is. And they're gonna tell
Well,
me that what's
yeah,
best for this country.
yeah, that's the truth. But you know what? Things are turning. Things are starting to turn back the other side now. But like I said, unfortunately, that's a chunk of the population that we have to live with. Now, surprisingly, okay. Okay, well, you know, being from New Jersey, okay. First of all, you regarding your brotherhood thing, I would say to me that means the Genovese family, all right, or the Gambino family. I'll leave it at that. But I come from a state where 75% of the American Revolution was fought on that ground there, and what most people don't realize, it wasn't just the redcoats we were fighting. Okay. There were people here, probably half the population of the colonists, that had no problem with King George. They were okay with the way things were. And they had their own militias. So it wasn't just the redcoats we were fighting. We were literally fighting other colonists, too. In fact, where I went to school back there, they have a reenactment of a battle which took place with the Tories and the colonists. And so yeah, that's kind of our history, is that, you know, you're going to have half the crowd on one side and half the crowd on the other side. And our electoral system is supposed to, you know, balance that out. And then, you know, majority rules, wins, whatever. And, you know, we're supposed to, after the election, put aside our differences and work together and, you know, move forward. Now, we're so friggin' divided.
You want to know how divided we are? I'll give you a
It's
hint.
crazy.
A bunch of young guys I know. I read the stats. Guys my age are going so far fucking right, and the chicks my age are going so far fucking left. How does that tell you how the divide is? If I put Trump in my bio, you know what I get? I get nothing. I know no chicks respond. You know what I put? If I put Kamala, I get tons of chicks. I'm good, man. I'm not Benedict Arnold. I'm not a turncoat. I'm not going to pretend, you know what I mean? So that's just a younger guy's perspective, is that a bunch of young dudes are more like, I'm going to vote for the orange man. And that's why he won, because who got the young man's vote? The Republicans or the Democrats? I'll give you a hint. It's the orange man.
It was a man who listened to his son, Barron, who told him, Dad,
That's right,
you
he
got to
did.
go on Joe Rogan's show. You got to go on Tim Pool's show. You got to go on Theo Von's show.
All the streamers.
Which he did, you know.
Where's Kamala?
And when you sit down and you have a 2 and 3 hour conversation with one of those dudes, you know, that says a lot. That's a big difference between that and Kamala going on NBC and doing a 10-minute scripted interview. That is the journalistic equivalent of Cheese Whiz, in my humble opinion.
I think
But I digress.
A better question is, why would any sane young man vote for the Democrats when they do nothing but hate on them? It's like, you gotta think logically. Why would I vote for people who don't have my best interest in mind? Just think about that. That's why I'm more of like what's it called? A guy in the middle. But it's like, logically, it makes sense why Trump won, because it's like the best interest of the people. And I'm thinking, why do we even have fucking Republicans and Democrats? Why can't we just have the best decisions for America all the time? That's all we care about, is how can America come forward in every single fucking thing we do. Only America, because then at that point you don't have any division, because everyone's on the same side. We're all under one team. We all want America to survive because we all fucking live here. There is no division. There is no militia. Wanna know why? It's because this entire fucking country is the militia, right? So that's pretty much how I'd solve that issue, is that it's one fucking empire, right? The Romans collapsed from the inside, not the outside. You know how they collapsed from the inside? Because of degeneracy and corruption and all that other shit. And cough, cough, look around you, my guy. If a young man can't put faith into the system that he fights so hard to protect, then why would he continue to do so? If you were me, why would I want to have a kid and have him go through that? I'm 22, right? So I can see this shit now. But why would I want to bring a kid into this world and have him be a drone for the fucking system, right? You hear some real shit. Oh, the Epstein shit, bro. It's like, if you can't trust your government, who can you trust? Oh, that's right. You can't trust the government to begin with, right? So that's why I believe militias are kind of the future of the world, believe it or not. Because you expand too much, it's going to get harder to control. So having a town where everyone's in unison is a lot easier than having a country, right? Because if that was the case, well, then Trump would have won all of his elections because, well, the dude won 2016. I'm not sure about the second one. He came pretty close, but he definitely won the third one by a landslide. He won. What was he? What's what we're looking for? He won by an overwhelming majority. So that should tell you where the people majority thinking is that we want this guy to win. So as a young guy, as a dude who's not into politics much, I care about my country. So that's why I put more. What's what I'm looking for? More faith in the Trump administration than I would into Kamala's, because I'm thinking, who has the best interest of America at heart? Like, but forget all the bullshit, right? America should be a place where, like y'all know Arnold Shorts, whatever his name was.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, so he's an immigrant, right? But guess what? He came here legally. And guess what? He was the governor of my fucking state. He was a bodybuilder. He was the fucking Terminator. He did all this, and he wasn't even born here. But he came here, he respected our traditions, and he made something. And guess what? He inspired a bunch of young guys who are American to like this and get into bodybuilding. He was an inspiration, a role model. But most of all, that motherfucker was American as shit. He didn't sound American, but we know when he said those one-liners, that sounded pretty fucking American.
Well, he made this place his home, so.
Yeah, so why can't everyone else who comes here do the same? After all, look what it gave him.
Right.
I wonder why it worked back then and not now. Maybe it's because the culture's changed.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of people do come here, and they come here legally, and they do make the most of it, and, bless them all, we need them. But, again, a lot are here for nefarious purposes, and anyway, to be continued. I'm going to pretty much put a wrap on this, so I want to move to some announcements here. And this is tomorrow up in a campo at the St. George Winery. Mr. Jim Shoemaker is going to be making a run for Congress, and this is kind of, I don't know, what do you say, a kickoff, launch party for the campaign?
Yeah.
So, for those of you who are interested in meeting, possibly your next congressman, come on out. It's 6 p.m. tomorrow at St. George Winery. And also this Saturday at Victory Park, there will be a family-friendly resource fair. And this is put on with about Young Republicans, the Impact Republicans, a lot of the local folks here. And, you can get plugged in with the different groups. You can meet some of your neighbors there. If you're even interested in learning how to run for office, they got some people there that can help you with that. So that's going to be Saturday from 11 to 2 at Victory Park here in Stockton. And I most likely will be dropping over there at some point, camera in hand, see what's going on. And also, the stuff out in Tracy, starting at 1 o'clock all afternoon, there'll be what they're calling a live off, off the 205, the freeway. But anyway, it's an all-day event with music, food, and some of the fellows from the TWF, Total Wrestling Federation, will be there. I guess there's going to be some wrestling action going on. And so that will be also Saturday afternoon if you're out there in Tracy. Sounds like it might be a fun thing to do. And down the road, coming back here to Stockton in September 13th, will be live pro wrestling with the Total Wrestling Federation. This is going to be at Eagles Hall. And I tell you, folks, if you got kids, you got to round them up and come on out because it's a fun time for the family. And, looking forward to these guys, seeing the 209 Click and the rest of them. Again, this is September 13th, Saturday. It's a nice little venue. It's a good time. I always go to check them out. And, so that's what's coming down the road here in Stockton. Last words. Anything you guys want to plug, promote? events, anything like that?
I'll go at the end.
Sure.
Oh no, you already put it up. The Jen Shoemaker event that's happening tomorrow night, tomorrow evening at
Right.
the George Winery. So hopefully I'll see you guys out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, in fact, after we close off here, stick around for a moment. I want to ask you something about that. Okay, Bill. Any last words? Anything you want to promote? I can't hear you. It's on your end. You're not muted here. You're not muted on this end, so it's something on your end. No. All right, we'll get you on the next one. All right,
I got
Scotty.
There's this comic shop named Al's Comics on
Yeah, on
Miracle Mile.
Pacific, yeah.
On Pacific Mile. I just want to shout out that guy. I've been going there since I was a kid. Now that is a small business I want to support because it's been in Stockton for years. It's comic books, and it's like go there, support the guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been there, and yeah, I do like to pick up the occasional graphic novel from time to time.
Yeah, I fucking love Batman, bro. That's why I go there.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and so yeah, I'll probably have to go down there one day here soon and check them out. You know, glad to see you still going. So, all right. That being said, thank you for everybody that checked in, and let me just put this up here.
Thanks for coming up, Bill and Showa.
Yeah, and this is our contact info. Please hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. Stay on top of what we're doing here. And email us if you got any questions, comments regarding the show here. We're here every Thursday. And, yeah, drop us a line. We do read them. And that being said, let me get out of here and pull up our outro. And so I will bid you all farewell, and we will see you next time.